Michael was a different level, man. He's a different level of competitiveness, just sheer will to win. He changed the game. He changed the game. I mean, not just in one aspect, in many aspects, every aspect of the game, he changed it. I played against some of the greatest players in the history of this game. Michael Jordan was one of those guys that lifted my ability to the next level. We enjoyed the competition with one another. We played very hard and fiercely against one another, but it was like you had two gentlemen going head to head. Michael Jordan and I wasn't just coming down the court getting dunks at the dunks. We found creative ways to score. I can't tell you the fun and the pleasure I had to play against him. You know, and Michael and I, we never really talked about those games. It was kind of an unspoken thing between us. You know, the respect level that we had was at a different level. I think I had a great game in Atlanta, and I remember going to Chicago. Michael walks into our locker room, and we're still in suit and tie. We haven't gotten dressed yet, and he walks in our locker room, suit and tie, and I was like, what are you doing coming in our locker room? And I ain't gonna say exactly what I said. And so he walked by me, he walked by Kevin Willis, and he got to Randy Whitman, he tapped him on his butt, and he said, lace him up, it's gonna be a long night. He got 60 that night. He got 60. And it was a very close game. I think it went down to the last shot in that game, but I think he proved his point.
And a beautiful view of the famous Chicago skyline. An appropriate dramatic setting for our game today at Chicago Stadium. Welcome everyone to Chicago. This is Kevin Harlan along with me, Clark Kellogg. We've got David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines as we get set to watch the Atlanta Hawks go up against the Chicago Bulls. Clark, this should be a beauty.
You know, each of these teams, Kevin, has a guy who was in the running for the league lead in scoring. I'm, of course, talking about two guys that don't need introduction, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Going to be a lot of fun watching these guys try to one-up each other offensively.
And Clark, beyond just Jordan and Wilkins, plenty of other talented scorers on each of these teams as well.
Kevin, you make a very good point. I mean, these are two impressive high-octane lineups, which I think could result in this score really getting run up in a hurry.
This should be one to remember. And out there for Atlanta, Spud Webb at the point with Doc Rivers at the 2. At the forward positions, Dominique Wilkins and Moses Malone. John Koncak will be at center. And starting things off for the Bulls, it's John Paxson at point guard with Michael Jordan also at the guard. Then Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant at the 3 and 4. The veteran, Bill Cartwright in the middle.
Expectations are high for Jordan and Wilkins in this one. They're both exceptional scoring threats, and I know their teams are expecting each of them to be the difference makers out there as they try to get the W.
And the basket by Malone.
Boy, the hard worker that Malone is makes you appreciate him, especially close to the rim. He's a strong guy who usually overpowers defenders inside.
Soaring up to the rim, Jordan makes it look so easy the way he gets off the floor. But I can tell you, that's harder than it looks.
You know, often, Clark, it's the team's respective leader who sets the tone for their whole squad.
You are correct, partner. So if Jordan or Wilkins can manage to get off to a hot start, that could spread to the other guys and get their whole team rolling early.
That's a good point. The number one objective, Clark, of this Bulls defense has to be limiting Dominique Wilkins' looks. They've got to contain that incredible scoring of his.
Kevin, you're all over it. Right on point. I mean, if Chicago can't disrupt his usual scoring, then they're in for a long night and some real trouble.
Outside Wilkins. Takes it off the glass.
Dominique.
All right, Clark. Wilkins and Jordan. A couple of talented one-on-one players who are both going to be seeking mismatches in this one.
And, you know, Kevin, if you're on either of these teams, you've got to be ready to come at Jordan and Wilkins defensively. Don't let them dictate things. Low-effort defense, not going to get it done because they'll take advantage of that fully.
Oof. Now here's Malone. Wilkins finds Rivers. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can't get the bucket from 20 feet out.
Jordan is an aggressive defender now. Excels at getting into his man and making things hard.
You know, Clark, in some ways, this game could come down to either Jordan's or Wilkins. And who scores the most? Outperforming the other could seal the game for their team.
And, Kevin, that's exactly what we'll be keeping a close eye on. Which one is leading in the point column? Because I agree the winner of that duel very well could decide this thing.
Oh, what a duel it's going to be. And so the ball is out of bounds. Wilkins touched it last. And it's the Bulls with the ball. They trail by 1. And here's Jordan outside. That one, no good. So Atlanta will take it the other way. Webb up top, guarded by Paxson. Webb the pass to Koncak. Back to Webb. Lets it go from deep. And it's Paxson with the rebound. Clark, I know the Bulls are hoping for big things this year after making it all the way to the conference finals a season ago.
You know, I think Chicago proving they can handle teams like these Hawks could be a really good sign for them as they look to become a more dominant and consistent force in this league.
Here's Koncak.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
1:56 left in the first quarter. Clock at 6. A nice shot by Rivers. Obviously, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Clark, both applied great defensive pressure. You know, but the Hawks have some fast hands and some nice defensive skills of their own.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I mean, you think about Doc Rivers. If the Bulls aren't careful around Rivers, he could create a lot of havoc and force a bunch of turnovers. And in a contest between two very high-scoring teams, we know every possession counts.
Yeah, Rivers is like a coach on the floor.
He really is.
The two scoring leaders facing off. But to dig deeper, let's go to a guy who can dig as deep as any, David Holdridge. D.A.
Thanks, guys. We know that Dominique and Jordan scoring will probably be the big story of the night, but there's a lot more to these guys' games that could affect the outcome. With Wilkins, we've seen a new focus from him on improving his rebounding, and as always, Jordan's defense can be just as impactful as his offense. Guys, back to you.
You know, David, that's an interesting point, and I think you're right. It's not just Clark about scoring.
Oh, man! Boy, listen to this Chicago crowd erupting. What a jam by Michael Jordan.
Now the pass to Rivers. Wilkins with the ball. Knocks it loose. Back to Rivers. Shot, high post. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Jordan down low. Working on Wilkins, and it's good for 2.
Efficiency personified there. Jordan scoring at will, taking over the game whenever he chooses.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Bulls lead by 5. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
11.
Welcome back, everyone, to Chicago as the second quarter gets underway. It's been an exciting game so far between the hometown Chicago Bulls and the visiting Atlanta Hawks.
For the Bulls, they've got a new coach at the helm this season. With Phil Jackson, this is his first stint as a head coach here in the NBA.
On the court for Atlanta, Rivers out there with Tony. Then there's Dominique Wilkins. Then there's Kevin Willis. And it's Malone in at the 5 down low. Michael's game goes to an even higher level when Atlanta enters this building. It's a rivalry that Jordan welcomes each and every time. Jackson, of course, a former player, a former assistant under Doug Collins in Chicago. And Clark, I hear he's got some interesting ideas when it comes to on-court strategy.
Well, Kevin, you know, he's certainly got some good pieces to test those ideas out with. There's no denying that. But what I think matters most is that the guys seem to relate to him and like him. Chemistry between players and head coaches is critical.
Well, you know, you played a long time, and you know how important that connection can be.
That's a very key deal.
You know, looking back at the opening quarter, Clark, Jordan managed to stay ahead of Wilkins in points scored.
Yeah, really good start for him, Kevin, in that regard, but can he keep doing that the entire game?
At the line for the Hawks.
Right. Antoine Carr. He's checked in for Malone.
Taking 2 shots.
Good on the second free throw. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Oh, Jordan taking flight. And Michael Jordan, no doubt, one of the greatest dunkers of this era.
Nicely done by Armstrong there. Recognized the overcommitment from the defense. Got his teammate a nice opportunity.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
You know, I can imagine the coach is giving them an earful about what's happening in the paint. They've got to clean that up.
Wilkins passes to Carr. He lobs it up, and Wilkins with the stuff.
Well, you got to appreciate how consistent these Atlanta Hawks have been. I mean, season to season, even while going through some roster shakeups, they've been steady.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Clark, as we know, last year the Hawks were able to hit 50 wins for the 4th consecutive season.
And, Kevin, I think that speaks to, obviously, the product on the floor, but the quality of their organization, too. I mean, these are players and coaches who just know how to win games.
And both free throws good for Jordan.
The Hawks and the Bulls, when you look at the measurables of teams and players, pretty standard for the league, with explosively athletic backcourts and then quite a bit of size down low, too.
Takes it from 10, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, that's a good player missing from point-blank range. That's one you got to convert.
Stolen by Rivers. So far, Michael Jordan has been getting just about Clark everything he wants on the offensive end.
And that's not unexpected, but, you know, that doesn't bode well for the Hawks as Wilkins has been unable to answer Jordan with shots of his own, which I think says a lot about the job the Chicago defense is doing.
I agree. Clark, we were talking about size. Both of these teams start a 7-footer at center.
Yeah, you know, Koncak and Cartwright are very imposing at that position, Kevin, and then you get Grant and Malone are paired evenly at 6'10", so, hey, there's no way this game is not going to be physical in the paint.
That'll be a battle for sure.
From in close with force.
Well, they need all the points they can get, guys. And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. Hodges checked in for Scottie Pippen. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Smith checked in for Tony. Wilkins against Jordan. Right now, Dominique doesn't seem to be having much issue, Clark, working around the Bulls' defense.
And that doesn't bode well for Chicago. I think they've got to get a better handle on him, Kevin. They got to corral him. If Dominique is just getting whatever he wants, whenever he wants, that is terrible news for the Bulls.
Pass to Rivers. Kicks to Smith. 6 to shoot. Pulls up. High post. He can't hit that time. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Jordan outside. And slam dunk by Jordan.
There it is right there in front of you. Jordan going to work and dunking it like only he can.
The Hawks trail by 10. Atlanta calls timeout. We've seen Michael Jordan really having a great game.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
Let's give a warm Chicago welcome.
So for the Bulls, Cartwright comes in for Will Perdue. And it's Grant in for King. Then for the Hawks, Moses Malone. He's checked in for Willis. Livingston comes in for Antoine Carr. And it's Webb in for Doc Rivers. Here's Livingston. Gets a very good look and converts.
Livingston
Levingson's got his first basket of the night.
Levinson unafraid to take these shots off the catch and shoot.
Wilkins against Jordan. They get a hand on it. Hodges the pass to Armstrong. Clock at 4. Jordan. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Hard not to respect how tough Jordan is inside. Really good at angling his body to pick up the foul call.
That one misses. The Hawks trail by 9. Here's Webb, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
What a powerful move that was right off the screen.
Yeah, they set him up well there.
And the high-flying antics of Jordan, simply awesome.
.26 seconds left in the first half. Webb against Armstrong. 12 seconds left to play in the first half. Malone right side. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
Boy, really good vision from Webb there, finding an open line to get the ball to a ready shooter.
At the elbow, it's Jordan. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Jordan's got 35.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game was so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Michael Jordan getting it done for the Bulls. They kept going to him again and again, and he delivered with a monster quarter. And don't go away. We'll be right back. So welcome back, everyone, to the third quarter of this contest between the Bulls and the Hawks, where Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins have been going at it. Bulls leading by 9.
And as this second half gets underway, the defensive ability of the Hawks and Bulls only become more important. You got to limit your opponents down the stretch, and both of these teams have the ability to do that.
They've got B.J. Armstrong. Grant is out there with Pippen, and it's Michael Jordan, and it's Cartwright in the center. And that's the group for Phil Jackson as we begin the second half.
Malone owns the paint area of the floor. Nobody coming in there messing with him.
No good from Jordan. We were talking about this before, but Clark, some very capable defenders on both sides of the floor.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, the duo of Pippen and Jordan, so effective at wreaking havoc and forcing turnovers. And the Hawks have Doc Rivers, who can hassle the ball handlers. He's physical, has a backcourt defender as well as Moses down low to eat that glass and block shots, too.
Yeah, both are fun to watch. And the replay demonstrating once again how aggressive that defense was.
Reads the play well there and gets himself in the air at just the right time. Terrific denial.
Atlanta with the ball.
These Hawks have a trusted and capable leader steering the ship, and that's Coach Mike Fratello. He won Coach of the Year for his work with this team in the '86 season.
Let's check in with David Aldridge. David?
Thanks, Kevin. Now, coming out of the half, you think about the rivalry between Jordan and Dominique. Dominique was, of course, the league scoring champion in 1986, but Jordan took that crown the next season, and he's held it ever since. Just another area where these two great players are going head-to-head. Back to you guys.
And we're the better for it. David, thank you. I wonder if either player, Clark, is thinking about that scoring title tonight.
My guess, Kevin, is that it's perhaps somewhere lurking in their minds, maybe more front of mind for Dominique, who I think would love to snatch back that scoring title.
I mean, listen, that is a huge label of success. So I can't fold either one of them, can you?
No.
John Paxson, he's checked in for the Bulls. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Antoine Carr, he's checked in for CONCACAF. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. Yeah, an experienced coach who knows his team inside and out. That's Mike Fratello. Clark, do you think that gives the Hawks an advantage?
I think it could, Kevin. I mean, Coach Fratello will have an easier time seeing what his team needs out there and will know what adjustments best suit this squad.
We're going over the numbers from the first half, Clark. Jordan was able to top Wilkins, in scoring in the first and second quarters combined.
A critical advantage partner that he worked really hard to get. Not all of his hoops were easy ones.
Right, you're right on that. Here's Jordan. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. Jordan's got 44.
I think Jordan could do this all day long. I mean, the mid-range area is a very comfortable area for him.
Back to Webb. Malone outside. To the inside. And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Rivers.
Doing all he can so far, but they still find themselves trailing.
A nice shot by Jordan. Jordan's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
Here in the third quarter, the Bulls, Clark, have managed to be pretty effective when it comes to defending Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, you know, their focus, Kevin, in terms of defending him, I think has really been good. Really good. And I think you can tell it started to frustrate Dominique a bit.
You can. As we get deeper into this game, Clark, it has been all Jordan offensively, as we can see, leaving Dominique well behind him.
You know, I didn't think it would be this one-sided. I mean, Jordan has just been operating at a totally different level, and Dominique has not managed to match that intensity or production.
You're so right. Ball's knocked loose, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
You too.
That's a jump ball.
So it's the Hawks now.
When you think about Michael Jordan, you think about scoring, putting the ball in the basket. But he does a lot of other stuff out there as well, like moving the ball effectively.
Here's Paxson. Good, and Grant gets the assist. Grant's got 3 assists now in this one.
Really good concentration by Paxson that time. I think he drew some contact there, but no whistle.
Here's Malone. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
He's doing his best to carry him, fellas, but he can only do so much. Things would be different for them if he was getting a little more help.
Oh, and the jam by Jordan.
Boy, outstanding ball movement from Paxson there, showing a willingness to involve his teammates.
And it's Rivers with the ball. He brings it up for Atlanta. A 12-point game. Pass to Malone. Here's Webb. Shot clock at 5. Over Paxson. Off the left rim and out.
Now, the defense was far from awful. However, he's still got to make these shots, in my opinion. Always looking to drive, in attack mode constantly. When the D gives him a lane, he tears him up.
Webb. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Chicago with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. Their transition game has been in full effect, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. We get into the fourth quarter of this thrilling game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. And this crowd is feeling it.
As this game wears on, you have to be so conscious of Michael Jordan. I mean, he's got something of a reputation for being a closer, and that's an understatement. He finds a way to push himself beyond his limits to come up with clutch points when his team needs it most.
Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Smith is out there with Rivers. Then there's Moses Malone. Then it's Wilkins. And it's Willis in at the 4 slot.
Very surprising that he came away empty there, especially given room to operate.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Knowing that Michael Jordan likes to explode down the home stretch offensively, Clark, think the Hawks might increase the defensive pressure on him.
You know, it wouldn't shock me, Kevin, if they did just that. Just make sure somehow, some way, you don't allow him to put together a run.
Looking back at the third quarter, Clark, Jordan had the lead over Wilkins for points scored in that period.
And Kevin, that could bode very well for MJ. Maybe some momentum coming into the fourth quarter where he has to continue to outduel Wilkins.
Launches it. Buries the long-range jumper. Jordan's got 57 points.
Really smooth shot that time from MJ beyond the arc. Hawks can't afford to let him get it going from the three-point line.
Down low, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And, you know, their lead just continues to grow, and it's not just because of their offense. They're getting it done at both ends.
Atlanta calls timeout. We've seen Michael Jordan really having a great game.
Boy, he's been killing them all night, and the defense looks like it's practically packed it in.
The Hawks trail by 17.
You know, something I like about both of these teams, the Bulls and the Hawks, is the experience they have, the range of experience. I mean, you've got younger guys like John Koncak and Horace Grant, and then you've got the seasoned veterans like Moses and Bill Cartwright. It's a really good balance.
Here's Jordan. Pass to Hodges. Rivers against Jordan. And he uses the glass on the layup. Jordan's got 59 points.
Once Jordan gets inside with the rock, it's practically all over. He's that consistent at close range.
Smith. Here's Rivers. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
You've got to be aware of him at all times. He's a bully on the backboard.
Stolen by Rivers. Driving to the basket. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Rivers has got 6 points in the quarter. Clark, I've always wondered how valuable you think it is for younger players to get a chance to play alongside more experienced players.
Kevin, I think it's crucial and absolutely vital. Older guys have a way of being able to teach a young star so much about patience and which battles you fight and which ones you let go and how you carry yourself as a pro and all of the nuances of playing in the NBA. Good veterans can help young players set the tone for the rest of their careers.
Oh, that's a great answer. Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Koncak's checked in for Willis. And it's Webb in for Smith. Webb the pass to Wilkins. And good coming off the assist by Spud Webb. Webb's got 4 assists now tonight.
Boy, I tell you what, Wilkins is athletic and cut up. Just bouncing off the contact and scoring with that weight room strength.
So for the Bulls, Cartwright's checked in for King, and Pippen subbed in for Hodges. Bulls leading by 12. Here's Jordan. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock.
There's not a place on the floor where Jordan can't hurt you. Efficient is what he is.
Paxson against Webb. Inside. Here's Rivers. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Assist goes to
Rivers has got 18 points just in the second half. Jordan passes to Paxson. Michael Jordan on the wing. He's defended by Wilkins. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Jordan. The shot misses. Excellent D there from Wilkins. To the paint. And Malone with the basket on the assist by Spud Webb. Webb's got 6 assists in the game. 1:05 left to play here in the fourth. Now Jordan. Grant trying to break free. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get Dominique Wilkins.
So there's so much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
The pass to Wilkins. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
An outstanding finisher. Wilkins is at his best when he's attacking aggressively.
Jordan outside. Passes it to Paxson. Here's Jordan. Knocked loose. Bulls moving the ball around. Here's Grant. It's hauled in by Malone.
Look, I don't like to be premature about this, but this thing is done. Overcooked.
Jordan against Malone. And Jordan throws it down.
He is anchored in and making a living down low tonight.
6 seconds left in the game.
Bulls foul. John Paxson. Second personal foul. Third team foul. Substitution on
And the Chicago Bulls, Clark, managed to pull out the win here tonight with Michael Jordan delivering a terrific performance to overcome Wilkins and these Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Kevin, able to beat Dominique's offensive talents once again. Always special, though, to watch these two go at it head-to-head. MJ got the better of Dominique this time.
He did tonight. But looking beyond just the two stars, Clark, as you like to say, this was a team win.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, Jordan cleared and made the way, but the rest of the Bulls did a terrific job keeping up with them and putting a lot of